Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to share with you how I use calculated iterations to sell over $3.5 million of online coaching, to help hundreds of coaches sell tens of millions of dollars, buy my dream Lamborghini, live in my beautiful condo with lake and mountain view. And now that all that jazz is out of the way, let's get into it. So what you need to understand is not everything is going to be easy. Most things worth doing are not easy. And so if you look at it like this, it's going to make so much more sense. So about 4 to 5 years ago, I wanted to get rich. I wanted to make a ton of money so I could live in my dream condo, drive a Lambo. It's absolutely disgusting and murdered out, right? Just like my Batmobile. And I was faced with a sudden realization that it was going to be a lot harder than I thought. Because I went from one thing to the other, bouncing from one offer to one niche to one business model to the next, without seeing any results. And at the time when you're going through this, it can be very difficult. It can seem very challenging and very hard. However, it's absolutely critical and absolutely necessary. And it's the exact thing that's going to get you to the next level. Let me explain. So when I first started, it was COVID 2020, lockdowns hit, my girlfriend dumped me, my dog died, lockdowns hit in the span of a month. And so here I am, just finished college, back home with my parents in their basement, had no idea what I was going to do with my life, except for the fact that I didn't want to get a job and I was going to make money somehow online with a business. And I had no idea what I was going to do. But I picked the low-hanging fruit. My dad's a mortgage broker, so I was like, okay, how can I help him get more leads and grow his business? So I did what any smart person would do. I learned how to build a website. Don't do that, it's dumb. Learn from my mistakes. But I learned how to build a website. I said, all right, his website's super old. I'm gonna learn how to build a website so then he'll convert his traffic much better, right? That was iteration one. And then I was like, now I got this website 6 months later after learning all the skills and making it all pretty and all that kind of stuff. I'm like, that sucked. I don't like doing it. And now he's got this website, but there's no one clicking on it anyways. So I had to calculate my next move very carefully. I was like, okay, now we've got this website, we need to get eyeballs onto it. So I did what any smart person would do. I learned SEO. Again, not so smart. But from there, the triangle. Then I went to a square, which was SEO. And this was my next iteration. I was like, okay, well, websites, building a website didn't really accomplish the goal that I wanted to set out to. Okay, what about SEO? Will this do the same? So I studied SEO. I learned how to do it. I optimized a website for SEO, search engine optimization, to try and get more people organically clicking onto the website. However, it takes a long time. It's very tedious. It's a lot of hard, continuous work over a lot of time, and sucked. And we didn't really see that much results with it. So now I did what any smart person would do. And I was like, well, how can we fast track this? Why don't we learn how to run ads so we can literally pay to get people to click on it and then convert. So that's what I did. And so that looked like this, right? Ads with this diamond where unintentionally, but ads are a diamond and you should start running ads if you're not already. But I started running ads. I learned how to build landing pages and running Google ads to get people to there. But the problem with that is the leads were very expensive and I had to pay a lot of money per click. So I was like, okay, well, what about Facebook ads? A lot of people are using Facebook. Why don't I learn how to use Facebook ads? And so I did that. And then that was like a hexagon, right? And that was my next iteration. So every single time that I would do something new, I took data and feedback from the thing that I just tried that didn't work as well as I wanted it to make my next move calculated, to make sure that I was going to hopefully get a better outcome next time than I did this time. And so I did that, right? Facebook ads, and then it worked. But guess what? I got really burnt out. Started to hate my agency because it absolutely sucked. And then at the same time I was getting super burnt out, my business coach at the time was like, dude, you're crushing it though. Do you want to join my team as my head coach? And teach other people how you've done what you've done. Because I was signing new clients every week. I grew to like 8K a month, but it was just me and I was charging like $500 a month per client and getting absolutely burnt out because I was doing everything for them and it sucked, right? And I was looking for just a way out. And so I was like, yeah, I'll do whatever you ask me to do. Like, anything's got to be better than running this agency right now, right? So I was like, sure, I'll be your head coach. Why not? And so I became the client success manager for this program, where he was teaching other agency owners and coaches how to grow and scale their business, or how to start and scale. And so that was kind of the next iteration. And with this, what should we draw? Pentagon. My artistic skills aren't phenomenal, but you get the point. So that was the next thing. I became a client success manager. And then a month into that, he's like, hey dude, my sales guy quit. Do you want to take sales calls for me? I'm like, sure. And so I did that. And now we'll draw an octagon, something like that. It's I'm not even gonna comment on that. You get the point. That was my next iteration, right? Like, cool, I love coaching, but what about sales? And I started taking sales calls. I was like, this is a blast. This is so much fun. I love studying and mastering this game of sales and influence and persuasion. And then I was like, okay, cool. I'm like, but also, dude, like, we're just doing organic. He was doing like $40,000 a month when I joined. And then I was like, why don't I run ads for you? And then he's like, why don't you? And so I did. So I was running ads, closing clients, coaching clients, and we went from $40,000 a month to $220,000 a month in like 6 to 7 months with 4 young dudes in our 20s. That's it, right? So that was the next iteration. I was like, okay, cool, ads for online coaching. That was a different thing, right? And so I'm running out of shapes here, so we'll just go back to a rectangle and keep it simple. But that's a square. See, you don't have to be super intelligent with a high IQ to be successful in life. You just have to do what I'm explaining in this video and you'll be good. But from there, I was like, okay, cool, that's pretty sweet. And then some shit happened, whatever, and I ended up quitting. And then the rest of the team quit too. And that's when I started Summit, which is what I'm running right now, Summit Scale. And I was like, okay, in that program, we were only teaching people organic, but what actually helped us scale was ads. So there's a discrepancy, and that didn't seem right. It didn't feel right to me. And so I was like, okay, I'm only gonna teach what works, what I know works based on my experience. So that's when I started Summit, and we'll do that as a circle. And so I could not have gotten here if I didn't first experience this, or this, or this, or this, or this, or this, or that. And so every single time, not only would I just like I wouldn't just like beat my head on my desk over and over and over doing the same thing. Every single time looked a little bit different. And Naval Ravikant has this incredible concept where he says, iterate to solve, and then repeat to get rich. And that's exactly what I've done. Over the span of 4 to 5 years, I was iterating, I was doing different things and building upon the last thing, right? This thing influenced this thing influenced this thing influenced this one. You get the point, right? Until I found this circle that worked really damn well. And sure enough, when I launched, I went from 0 to 7 figures in 7 months. So what you do is first, step 1, you iterate. And then step 2 is simple. You repeat. So I took this circle, I said, all right, I found a winner. I found something that works really damn well. I mean, just go look at my client wins on my story highlights on Instagram. Go look at my YouTube interview playlist with clients that have absolutely changed your life and crushed it. You'll see that this works. And so once you find that thing that works, after it takes a long time, repeat the hell out of it and do it as much as you can and make it as damn good as possible. So you want to repeat and repeat and repeat and repeat and repeat and repeat and keep repeating and rinse that sucker. Squeeze as much juice out of this damn thing as possible. Do as much as humanly possible. Now, this doesn't only apply to just business models. This applies to so many other things. Look at Thomas Edison, right? He did 10,000 iterations, 10,000 calculated iterations before he found the light bulb that actually worked. I don't even think there's 10,000 different types of shapes. I couldn't even get through 6 or 7 of them before I had to reuse one. But every single time, He used data and feedback from what didn't work to then make a calculated iteration, a calculated decision on how to adjust his next approach. And that's the point of this, right? So first light bulb didn't work. Second one didn't work. 9,999th didn't work until he found the one that did. And then now there's probably been billions, if not trillions of light bulbs made since that invention. Since that 10,000th iteration that actually worked. Now, he's absolutely rinsed and repeated this. It's the exact same thing with ads, right? I see so many people say, I hear this in the DMs all the time on Instagram. Yeah, I mean, I've tried ads before, I just don't think they work for me because, I'm special. I'm a cute little princess and my offer is a little unique, right? And as cute and fuzzy as we all want to feel inside, that's an absolute lie, because there are people out there right now making millions of dollars doing exactly what you're doing, that are running extremely profitable ads, that are driving your dream car, that are living in your dream house, that have the life that you can only dream of right now. If only you could get that little story that you've been telling yourself out of your head. And I know, being a little hard on you, but you need to hear that, because they do work. They just haven't worked for you yet. You haven't done enough iterations. But what you want to be careful of is you don't just do iterations for the sake of doing iterations. You do calculated iterations, and you calculate your next step. You change something, you tweak something, you get feedback, and then you're like, oh, okay, now I see why that didn't work. Okay, well, let's try it this way. It could be your hook, it could be your ad copy, it could be your ad creative, it could be your entire ad strategy. It could be the appointment setting process. It could be your landing page if that's what you're doing. It could be your email or text sequence. It could be your follow-ups or your calling, right? Like whatever funnel you're running, it doesn't matter. Somebody else out there right now is making millions of dollars a year doing exactly what you're doing. They've just tried it more times than you have. They've done more iterations, right? It's the exact same thing with relationships. Your first girlfriend, your second girlfriend, your third girlfriend, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh. And then you met your wife. And then you date your wife for the rest of your life, hopefully. That's the plan, right? But you wouldn't have met her, you wouldn't have become the type of man that could attract and keep her if you didn't first learn all of these lessons about why all of these failed. Those set you up for success with her for the rest of your life here. It's the exact same thing, right? Same thing with coaches and programs and mentors and stuff like that. Like the amount of shitty courses I bought, it's a lot, right? But I do learn like a little, even if I just get like one little nugget from something, I'm like, all right, cool, whatever money I spent, now it's on me to go multiply that. To apply this thing and go multiply it. That's my responsibility, not them for making a shitty course. The moment you cast your blame somewhere else, you give away your power, and then you're energetically, you're giving an excuse as to why you're not getting results and why you're not succeeding. So don't do that. But the first course that I ever taken or that I ever took, I can't English today either, apparently. Can't draw and I can't English. But the first course that I ever took, did that make me a millionaire? No. Did the second one? No. Third? No. None of them did, right? But they all did a little bit. They all put one brick in my foundation to get me to that one that changed my entire life, that helped me just expand my perspective and helped all of the things that I've learned throughout my entire life click. And then I was like, bingo, I got it. Now I found the thing that worked. Let's rinse and repeat it, right? And so if you use calculated iterations throughout your entire life, in every aspect, same thing with the gym, right? Like this applies to your health, your wealth, your relationships, your business, your finances, everything, right? Because when you understand universal principles and the energy levels behind this, then it makes life become easy, right? It makes life become simple, not easy. Because it's a very simple concept to understand, but it's not easy to do. And that's why most people give up when their first thing doesn't work, when their second thing doesn't work, when their third, when their 20th try doesn't work. It's like, you know what, maybe this isn't for me. You're right, it's not if you quit. The only way you can fail is if you quit. And the reason why most people are broke is because they quit too soon until they find that thing, right? It's like the classic 3 feet from gold story. And looking at some of the most successful people I know and hearing feedback from some people that are very close to me and how they describe me, they say, man, I don't know how you do it, but you're just so damn consistent. You just show up every single day and you're just so consistent. And you say you're gonna do hard things and then you do it. And so if you want to become more successful and more fulfilled, say you're going to do more difficult things and then be consistent with it and don't stop until you hit it. When I was starting my business, when I started Summit Scale, I told myself, I will die before I don't hit 100K a month of this. This is it. This is my home run. Right now, compared to all of my other tries, it's all right, I'm swinging for the fences right now. And I was like, I will hit 100K a month and I don't have another option. That's it. And so, sure enough, I did that, month 7, right? And what's important to understand there is, like, in my mind, I was willing to do it for another 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, if that's what it took to hit that goal. It didn't matter because I told myself, I made a promise to myself that I'm not quitting, I'm not giving up until I hit this goal. I don't care how many iterations, I don't care how many tries it's gonna take. And like, even my program's changed quite a bit since I did that. The delivery, I think this is like our 5th rebuild right now over the last 2.5 years. And like, team members and like, people come, people go, and that's totally normal, right? But you have to learn from it. You have to make calculated decisions based on real, raw feedback. This is what it looks like, right? You have this idea, you have your theory, your hypothesis, right? That's a T/H. You have your theory or your hypothesis of like, I think this is what I think is gonna work. And then you send that into the universe. And then the universe is like, all right, you suck. That didn't work. And then you get your outcome, right? Your output. And then you're like, okay, let's take this outcome. Let's analyze it. Take feedback from that outcome to form a new hypothesis. It's the scientific method. That's it. This is all Thomas Edison did. This is all I've done. It's all the most successful people in the world have done. They try something, they send it out to the universe. It's all right, mark it. Tell me if this is gonna work. Apparently I need new pens. There we go. And then it's like, okay. It's just like in Gladiator, right? It's like the emperor is like, will this person survive or will they die today? And he's like, boom, he'll survive today. They're like, cool. And then you find what works and then you rinse and repeat. But 999 other times before that, the universe, the market is just gonna tell you no. And then you die. And then the person kills you, right? And then you just gotta respawn, get back up, and try again. And that's it. So do hard shit, don't stop until you finish it. Make a big impact on the world. See you in the next one. Bye.